This is a movie of the collapse of the South Tower of the World Trade Center, taken with a handheld camera. In the original video, the camera is moving wildly, so the details of the collapsing building are hard to see. To make it easier to study the details of the collapse, I separated the movie frame by frame and wrote a program to transform the images in such a way that the image of the building remains essentially fixed, even though the camera is moving. I then reassembled a sequence of still frames into a slow-motion version of the movie. Some things to notice. Notice that the building is not collapsing one floor at a time. Material is being explosively ejected from many floors at the same time. This contradicts the pancake theory that would explain the ejections as dust puffed out from between the floors as they slammed together. Notice that the leading edge of the explosions is extremely uniform, forming perfectly horizontal lines along both visible faces of the building. But explosive ejections are continuing on other floors as well, and all of this is happening many floors below where the actual collapse is occurring. Notice if you look along the corner of the building that the intact structure of the building is visible well above the leading edge of the explosions. The explosions are clearly not caused by pancaking floors as they collapse. They precede the collapse, well in advance of the actual collapsing portion of the building. Notice that the cloud of debris is not moving down the building. It is being ejected horizontally outward at high speed. From where they landed, one can calculate that heavy girders are ejected at speeds of up to 60 miles per hour. The debris cloud appears to be moving down the building, but what is actually moving down the building is a wave of explosions. The pattern of explosions moves down the face of the building, but the explosions themselves are directed horizontally outward. Notice that although the destruction of the building seems to be progressing in an extremely uniform manner, at the same time, seen from other points of view, the top section of the building is in fact in the process of toppling over. The toppling section is hidden in the dark cloud of smoke above the light-colored cloud of debris. The collapse is actually quite asymmetric. Why then the very symmetric ejection of mass many floors below the point of collapse? What is perfectly symmetric is the steady, advancing leading edge of the explosions that accelerates down the two visible faces of the building ahead of the collapse at ever-increasing speed. This is what one would expect if the buildings were brought down using a sequence of computer-timed explosions. This is not what one would expect of a building whose top section is toppling and whose inner core of 47 massive vertical columns is resisting the collapse.